So my first ever experience in San Francisco is come off the station, walking, go to cross the street, and then my first ever like real experience is this like homeless person like walking in the middle of the street, almost getting hit by a bus. He like stops and like yells at the bus driver and like spits on it, and that's my introduction in San Francisco.
That was photographer Chris Macias. I'm Jeff, and this is Storied San Francisco. Every week on this podcast, you'll hear from photographers, journalists, activists, and San Franciscans from all walks of life, telling stories, sharing personal histories, and trying to put into words what makes this city so special. Welcome to episode 46, part 1. Chris moved to San Francisco from Southern California to go to art school. His school was located in the Tenderloin, a neighborhood he quickly came to embrace. In this podcast, Chris talks about moving to the city and his love of the Tenderloin. Here's Chris.
My 9 to 5 is I work at SF the title is Exhibitions Technical Assistant, which is just fancy speak for installing media artwork, so video, audio, things like that. Outside of that, I'm a photographer specializing in Polaroid work. And then outside of that, I don't know, I always have a hard time coming up with a name, especially after working in the museum. I don't like calling myself a curator, air quotes curator, because there's a lot of, not in a bad way, there's a lot of like respect and schooling and years of service under that name.
Right.
It's weird, like I like to organize artists together to put on group shows. Artists in the community together to put on group shows.
Okay. And so, you're an artist yourself?
Yes, artist myself, photographer mostly. So.
Cool. So let's hear a little bit about your growing up and exactly. I know you said you came here for school, but was there more to it than that, or was it just school? Or let's talk about all that.
A bit, yeah. So I'm from Lakewood, California, which is a super small city between Long Beach. It's like north of Long Beach, south of like Inglewood, a bit further south of LA area. It's like right in between. So I just stay in Long Beach, people ask me. And then I lived there, and then I went to school a bit further south in Orange County. So for majority of school, like middle school, high school, all in Los Alamitos, Orange County. So I'm from there. And then I came up here, graduated high school in 2012, went to Cerritos College, junior college, to try it. I hated it. I came up here for school, but because I went to the Art Institute of San Francisco, but they had campuses in LA and Hollywood, everywhere around, but I felt that I needed a separation. I needed a separation from Southern California, from the weather, from the people, from the lifestyle, just like a lot of things about it. I just needed a change. So I went like, all right, what city seems appealing to me that I would like, but it's not too far? So San Francisco seemed like the logical choice to me because it's away from home. It's still in California. If I need to go home, flights are cheap. It's good. And then actually, before I moved here, I had never been here before.
I was going to ask.
Like ever. I just like,
wow.
No. I get like the 4th grade on like a trip. I remember Alcatraz and that's it. So outside
it's a good thing
of that,
to remember.
Yeah, I did like very little research in the coming year. Like San Francisco seems cool. People seem to like it. I'll go there and do that.
Right. You came here kind of sight unseen.
Pretty much, yeah. Like I knew that at the time. I knew that I wanted to go to school for video production, specifically documentary. I never wanted to kind of do the whole Hollywood thing, and which is where I lived. Documentary, so at least at the time, San Francisco had a better market for documentary and commercial work, which is what I wanted to do. I was like, all right, this seems like the logical choice. It worked out.
In a cool way, or in an interesting way, I think, that makes it where getting here, you're wide open.
Yeah.
Right? You don't have preconceived
exactly
idea.
Only because in high school and still now, I love history. So the only ideas of San Francisco that I had were from history, like the Summer of Love and all the stuff pre-1990 or pre-1980 essentially. Beyond that, anything going on with modern stuff, I had no idea.
Yeah.
So
maybe the 49ers. And then,
yeah. So 49ers as well. That did play a small part of it because now it's different. But growing up in LA, we didn't have a football team. The only team we had was USC, and like that's a college football team. So I wasn't because where I lived in Lakewood was like a lower income. I don't want to say bad, but it was a lower income, troubled area. There was like gang activity. So my mom was like, you cannot root for the Raiders. You cannot root for the Rams. That's just how it is. It's like, all right, the only other team we got on TV was the 49ers. It's like, all right, I just kind of, because I love football and I wanted to watch it. I wanted to root for a team. It's like 49ers seemed like a logical choice. Plus I had family members who live pretty far south. Not like south, they like Santa Clara area, and they're all like 49er fans. So it seemed like, all right, yeah. So that did play a part. So I knew about them coming in. That was like the only modern thing because I came here after the Super Bowl, like when they started declining in like 2013, 2014. It was like, so I came at a bad time.
Yeah, you cursed them. Thanks a lot.
Essentially, yeah.
And then they moved.
That too, yeah.
But no, some. I don't think it's that trivial. Like some sense of familiarity.
Yeah.
In that. Mm. Yeah. So you moved here.
Yeah.
So what was that like?
So it was weird. It's like I got thrown into it. My school didn't do a good job at telling us about the city because we lived our student housing where I got out the airport, took the like van drop off thing to Lake Merced, Park Merced area by state, and then went to my like student housing placement, whatever, stayed there, and the next day's orientation at school. But like they didn't tell us how to get there. They were just like figure it out, and like I didn't know that it was like a 45-minute train ride from there to the city. So they figuring that out. It was like almost like being in a different country where like taking the train, like trying to figure out like, all right, is this the right spot? Is this the right, what stop do I get off at? Stuff like that. So yeah, so I took the train with my roommates and other people that I kind of met in the meantime.
Were they going to Art Institute as well?
Same place, yeah. So it was weird. The way that they did it, it was student housing for us, but the school would just rent out apartments in Park Merced. So it was weird. But so my roommates were also students, and like our neighbors were also students as well. Like the whole like 2 floors would be just our students.
Okay.
So when I get on the train, we think we're going to the same spot. We get off luckily the driver knew where we were going. So I was like, where is the school at? Get there, get off the station, come up at Civic Center. My first ever experience in San Francisco ever is come off the station, walking, go to cross the street, and then my first ever like real experience is this like homeless person like walking in the middle of the street, almost getting hit by a bus. He like stops and like yells at the bus driver and like spits on it, and that's my introduction in San Francisco. So it's like
kind of perfect.
Yeah, I just hit the ground running, going straight for it.
So walk us through your school experience.
It was interesting. It definitely wasn't a normal college experience. It was like an art school, trade school. Like it was a for-profit school. So it's basically they just get students in, churn them out as fast as you can.
I know about this all too well.
Just get in and out. I still had a good experience. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about what I liked and didn't like. But it was, all in all, it was good. The teachers were great. I think I'm glad, excluding the financial part of it, I'm glad I went to this school instead of like SF State or something, because nothing against SF State or other like Cal State schools, but they're like teachers or full-time teachers. At my school, and I'm sure it's the same at other art schools, that our teachers are working professionals who also just teach for side money. Like we're their second priority, essentially. But it's good because you get a very realistic experience and first-hand knowledge of what it's like being a working professional. I had a couple of teachers who, they were like, I'm not gonna bullshit you. Like if you're here and you think you're gonna go on to be a famous director and make movies. Like, it's not realistic for you. Like, it's not impossible. It happens, but it's not likely. It's very realistic. Like, you're gonna get out of here. You're gonna be a PA for a long ass time. You're gonna do some editing gigs, do some freelance, do a lot of commercial stuff, and then work your way up over time. So I get a very realistic understanding of how the movie film industry works, especially out here. But it was great. I met people that are some of my closest friends now, teachers I learned a lot from. It was good. And the area, I fell in love with the area of the TL, which is a weird thing to say, especially over people who come to visit and don't live here, don't understand it. But being able to just be there every single day, it was a good experience. I enjoyed it a lot.
Would you say that's the first neighborhood you got to know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I was going to ask about during your schooling. Yeah, like, I can think like on a side track to that, a separate track, you're learning the city.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't like a lot of like state schools and stuff where they're like, at least from what I heard from friends, or it's not like traveling and staying like a hostel or something where like these are all the cool places to eat. This is all the nice places to go to. It's like they're like, figure it out, like whatever. When you're out of the halls, you're not a responsibility kind of thing. Just don't get shot or whatever. So it's like, it was like not that harsh, but like it felt like they didn't give us any pro tips on how to survive the city, because a lot of them were traveling from East Bay. A lot of our like what's it called, or like housing people or like student services people weren't from here. They're not locals. They came here for the job, so they're like, I don't know where to go eat. Like the Carl's Jr. next door, which is, if you know, is like the worst place in the world to go eat.
Yeah. Or Green Burrito or whatever.
Green Burrito, Carl's Jr. It's bad.
Yeah.
Like I went there once. I walked in. I was like, I can't do this. I just left. I can't. But,
You're conscious.
But it was good. I'm glad I got to learn the hard way sometimes, where to go, where to not go, where's good to eat at, where's good coffee at, stuff like that.
Do you want to talk about the Tenderloin?
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
Kind of a special neighborhood to this show. I mean, it's kind of where the idea was hatched.
It's special to me. It feels weird saying that, but like, my life has revolved around, up until this past, I started at the museum last August. Up until then, most of my life revolved around the TL, either going to school. I lived there for 2 years, like deep in the TL.
Oh, what cross street?
Post and Taylor. So it's like, it depends who you ask. Because like Tenderloin, Tender Knob, if you don't want to associate with the Tenderloin, but it's the Tenderloin.
It's not for this host to decide.
Yeah,
if you want to call it Tenderloin, it's Tenderloin.
The people that call it like Tender Knob are like the people trying to raise the property value. But it was Tenderloin. I consider it Tenderloin. So yeah, it was always been a part of me. And then I worked at Sammy's, which is in Soma, but it's still walking through Tenderloin every day, every morning, every evening. And on the weekends, I'm just going to hang out here.
What do you like about? Can you expound on what it is about the Tenderloin that you like?
So I'm a very routine-oriented person. Like on the weekends, I go to the same place, I get the same coffee, I get the same lox bagel sandwich, I see the same people. No matter where I live, I find that place. Like downtown, I wake up the same time. I would go, if I woke up early enough, if I woke up on time, I'd go to Family Room, get a coffee, they're open, or George and Lenny and get coffee if they're open. Go to work. On the way back, I would always get Bite, which is like a street above me. On the weekends, go to Hemlock, go to Whiskey Thieves. It's the familiar, it's the routine aspect. Like, you're going to see the same people, it's going to taste the same, it's going to look the same for the most part.
Yep.
It's that just routine, just familiarity. It's comfortable. And it felt like a community. It's like the different shops know each other, the different people working know each other. It's like First Thursdays played a huge part in it. I go to First Thursdays I'm there every single time, and like I know for a fact like I'm gonna see the same people each and every time, for good and for worse. It's the community of it. It's like It's good.
It's kind of an everything neighborhood.
Yeah, it's like everything.
You've got artists, families,
exactly,
businesses,
artists, families, coffee. It's not like North Beach is like Italian and pizza, and then like Chinatown's Chinese. But it's like it's like a sample platter of San Francisco. Like you can get good stuff of everything, be it galleries, artists, food, coffee bars in that what not even a mile radius.
That was Chris Macias. Check back Thursday for part 2, when Chris will talk more about his own art. Music for the podcast is by Otis McDonald. Film photography is by Michelle Kilfeather. You can find all our episodes over on the website, storiedsf.com. While you're there, please help support what we do by going to our store page and choosing from several different pledge levels. Please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please rate and review the show. And if you have any feedback or potential guests for the show, our email is storiedsf@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.